What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Ballers podcast. Hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. We're just waiting on Raheem to start talking and analyzing and all that. But I hope you guys are having a great day. It is Sunday, September the 10th. International break is going on. A lot of games to talk about. A lot of international fun, which is definitely a crowd favorite, especially when it comes to the European qualifications. So strap yourself in, get ready for the show, and yeah, tell your friends. I guess before we get started, I can get the sort of the logistics out of the way. So this stream is officially now sponsored, which is nice because we're just pretty new here, and as you guys can see, for anybody who's already been following us, we're quite a new stream, and to get a sponsorship so early is nice. That helps support and helps keep us going, and also helps keep us motivated, which is very nice. So shout outs to our sponsor Oceana. Oceana is a um, footwear, bag, accessory business. Their website is in the description if you guys want to check them out with some coupon codes there for to buy some pretty nice gear for a pretty good price. So check them out. Thanks again, Oceana, for sponsoring this stream. And without further ado, we are going to get started. Hello, Brian.
What's poppin', man? We're not live, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay.
This guy, huh? Laugh at his ass, chat. Okay. What's good, G?
What's poppin', man?
What are you saying? Is your boy gonna hop on?
Ugh, he never got back to me. I don't know, man. That's why I hate dealing with Arabs.
Man, I swear to God. It's all good.
Nah, it's like
It's all
I
good.
don't feel
Anyway, in order for him to join, he would need Discord. Ideally, I guess I'll shout out our Discord page right now. So Ballers Academy. So we have a Discord page called Ballers Academy where all the young ballers are joining up and chatting about their favorite teams and all that. So
going
definitely check
to
that out. It's in the link.
baller school. They're going to baller school.
They're going to baller school to learn some baller things, how to be a baller, how to have
Play with
good,
their balls.
balls etiquette, and all that sort of thing. So shout outs to that. Check it out. It's still brand new. We're still building it. Let us know if you guys have any feedback on it. And without further ado, let's talk about football, Raheem. Are you ready for that?
Yes, of course I'm ready for that.
Let's do it.
There's not really shit to talk about much this week. I mean, let's see. We can start. We'll start off with old reliables. See, I want to start off with England because to me, England is very is old reliable when it comes to.
Yeah, I think England is slightly wasting a bit of a golden generation. Like 'cause,
Slightly.
bro, because
Slightly.
they've done it before in the like early 2000s slash mid 2000s, and now they're doing it again on a bigger scale. I feel like now it's
No, but the difference between the last one and this one is that the last one, the players even came out and said it themselves, is because not that they hated each other, but the rivalries between Arsenal and United and Chelsea United were so big back then
hmm
that like dudes like I don't know, like they preferred their club over their country at that point. They even came out and admitted it. So
yeah.
like they didn't get along that much with each other on the international stage. That's the thing. No, the issue with this one is that all the players like each other and shit. It's just the coach fucking stinks.
Yeah, no, it's some terrible coaching decisions. I mean, you made a TikTok, by the way. Shout out to our TikTok. We officially got to 1,000 followers, so we really appreciate that. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. We make some pretty funny content. But Brahim made a video yesterday talking about just the decision in the squad and the formation and just everything about it. And it's just honestly just a mess. And we don't like. I genuinely don't understand a team like England who has so many, for example, reliable options in the defense,
Hmm.
right? How they could consistently be going towards brothers like Harry Maguire, who's barely played this season.
And when he has played, the only times I've seen him play, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't watch every single Man United game, but I'm pretty sure the only time he played this year was the last like 10 minutes against Arsenal or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And losing 3-1. Like it was 1-1 when he came on.
Hmm.
They ended up losing 3-1.
Yeah.
Now I'm not a man who likes to make I don't like to make like, connections, but like
Well,
you
yeah. I
can't
mean,
go the
it's
little connection between those things.
yeah. I just again like I never expected to see a center back partnership of Maguire and Gahey.
Yeah,
Um,
isn't he? Yeah, he on Crystal Palace as well.
yeah, and like I can understand Walker at right back. I mean, maybe I would think of Trippier as well as a good solid option for the right back. But I'm not mad at Walker. I mean, he did bag them a goal, right?
Like
Um,
I don't actually get why Maguire starts right. You know the amount of center backs who accomplish more in their careers for English center backs over Maguire. Like Ben White. Ben White has what's his name? In terms of trophy, he hasn't won a trophy. And Maguire, I mean, bro, I'm not gonna fucking count the community. You're gonna count the not the community. I'm not gonna count the Carabao Cup. You're gonna count that. Count the Community Shield as well. They've won the same amount of trophies with their teams. But Ben White's been with Arsenal less, like 2 years less than Maguire's been with United, and United have been consistently dog shit. With Ben White, we had a pretty much a title challenge for like all of last year. This year we're starting off well. He's been consistent for us. You could put him, or I don't know, maybe a treble winner. John Stones. You could put Tamori. You could put. I mean, I know he's injured, but fucking Tyrone Mings is better than Harry Maguire, and
well,
even
I
he
mean,
wasn't.
yeah, like taking like for me, I was just thinking about mainly John Stones, right? And the fact that that brother didn't play is it, like should be a crime against humanity. And the fact that like Maguire starting over him should be a crime against humanity because like he is one of the greatest center backs right now, at least in the Premier League, if not like in the world. And you're
Mhm.
starting this bum. Like no offense, like he's it's like thing is it's not that he had like a terrible game, Maguire, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like John Stones, for example, offers you so much more in terms of like his ability to even like join the midfield at times and provide a support on that front. Which
Hmm.
let's move on to the midfield because this midfield three that Southgate decided to go with just doesn't make sense to me because I mean I get Rice at the six, cool. I get Bellingham playing as a 10, cool. But Henderson, why is Henderson there? Like what has Henderson done?
Well, it's redundant. You're putting two players, Rice and Henderson, who are effectively like I wouldn't say they're not. I mean, they're not like out and out DMs. I don't think, but they play in similar positions, and Henderson is not that good anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't get why he starts. Like you could put James Ward-Prowse didn't even get a call up. Like Jordan Henderson, who plays in the Saudi league, is getting call ups. But James Ward-Prowse, who has like I think 3 or 4 assists in the first 4 games of the league so far, is not getting called up. West Ham are I think yeah we didn't we check like yeah last week West Ham are like second or third right now. I mean I know it's still like very early, but point is you're not gonna call up Ward Prowse, you're calling up Henderson. I'm telling you. And then the worst part is it's 1-1, and then he decides to take off Bellingham instead of Henderson.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
the guy who has consistently shown this season because this is what I think. I think like you always see like at games like Southgate's like going to like scout Liverpool or like Southgate, bro. You ain't scouting shit, bro. You ain't watching nothing, bro. You on your
bro, he's
phone doing
just
nothing
literally
because
nice in his little coat.
yeah, exactly because genuinely you could have put Madison as a 10, you could have put Bellingham as an 8, right? Kept them both on. And then put somebody else at left wing. You could have started Rashford at left wing. You could have you had so many options at left wing. Sterling for whatever reason like didn't play.
Yeah,
Um,
well, Sterling, Rashford. That's the thing. He put Madison there, and like I don't get. I really hope that Southgate gets like.
well,
Well,
because
actually,
he
I want to get fired after the Euros because like
you
I
don't want.
don't like I want them to fail. Like realistically, the thing that this is how I know Southgate is so shit. He's so shit to the point where even though I don't like England, I want them to fire him.
Yeah, well, because
That's
I
like,
think that you want to see them at least somewhat perform to
bro,
their standard. I guess.
it's because it annoys me because it's so like frustratingly obvious.
Hmm.
That's what, bro. Like, listen, this dude made a name for himself by taking an England team to the World Cup semifinal, right? Right. He did that against who? Their group was I remember it was friggin' Iran, Panama, Tunisia, right? You're gonna oh no hold up. It was Tunisia, Panama, Belgium. Yeah, Tunisia, Panama, Belgium. True. Okay. They do that. But you get to the round of 16, they have to go to penalties against Colombia to win. Which, with all due respect, I know Colombia's good, but like
Yeah, it's
England is
England.
better.
Yeah, it's England.
Like
Yeah.
them, you shouldn't be bragging about beating Colombia on penalties. You beat Sweden 2-0 in the quarters. Okay, like that's a decent result, but like expected. And then the first like decent team they play, they lose to. They lose to Croatia, and then in the gold and the bronze medal game, they lose to Belgium. It's pretty much both the two teams that were actually decent at the World Cup. They lost to. The Euros comes around. They're playing a home Euros. They're playing a Euros at home basically. Because like literally most of the games are at Wembley. They beat. I mean, a really terrible. Like this is the worst German side I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, they beat them 2-0. Then they beat Denmark. Who else did they beat? They beat them 2-0, and then they played. I know they played Denmark in the semis, not the one that in overtime, extra time. Sorry, that's the Canadian.
The Canadians got hockey.
Extra time, and then they lose to Italy in the final. And Italy is a team like I promise, like they were good that Euros, but that's a team that didn't even qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Then they go to the World Cup like this year, the one that just went by, and then they lose in the quarterfinals. So, like, tell me, like, where's the success?
Yeah.
Like England plateaued at the Euros. Like them not winning for me, like okay, them not winning that Euros cool. That's when you get rid of Southgate because that finals was so winnable. They were up 1-0 after like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yeah.
no.
Is that no? It's and bro, like taking how they lost, like they had three. I mean, I guess granted, three of their young players, missed their penalties.
Yeah, but like, yeah, exactly. This guy decided to put an 18-year-old. I don't know how Saka was like 18, 19 back then. Puts him, Sancho, and Rashford. Sancho didn't really have that much experience with England. I mean, Rashford did. So putting Rashford isn't like that's like fine. But then putting Sancho and Saka, like yeah, does that. And then and like Kima, I know like all the shit that's been going on at Man United with Sancho, but Sancho, in so far like preseason, the first few games of the season when he's been called up, you can't tell me that he's done worse than fucking Maguire
No.
not get called up, or
Yeah.
worse than
No.
Jordan Henderson, or worse than like you see like the England squad that got called up. Let me actually,
Like it.
I want to go through it real quick because I remember when I saw it, I was like in disbelief. I hate to check this England call up. Okay, let's see. No, England just
Oh yeah, they also had Eze on. I just realized they also had Eze on the bench. Didn't get subbed in.
Aaron Ramsdale, Jordan Pickford, Sam Johnson. Okay, your goalie, that's cool. I know people always make the argument of why Pickford should be England's number one. I personally don't think he should be, but you know what, whatever.
Sure.
Ben Chilwell, Colwell, Lewis Dunk, Mark Gahey, Harry Maguire, Tomori, Kieran Trippier, and Kyle Walker. So like.
Okay, so they have Tamori on the bench.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is Ben Chilwell getting a call up?
Yeah.
I don't know why Lewis Dunk is getting a call up. Tomori getting a call up is cool, and plus, but why is he not starting?
Why is he on the bench? That's what I'm saying. Like,
And Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips and like okay, Conor Gallagher, no. Like I know some people are saying he's had like a decent start to the season, but Chelsea overall have been dog shit.
mm-hmm.
So you can't tell me that Ward-Prowse doesn't deserve that over him. Calvin Phillips, who basically played like no minutes last year and isn't playing minutes this year, why is he getting a call up?
100%.
And then you have I remember I saw this yesterday. Nketiah was gets called up, and then like instead of having him on the bench, he didn't even make the squad because Southgate decided to put two goalies on the bench. So like, and obviously Maguire. Like there's just so many like.
Right. Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. And like you just have like all these options. I mean, John Stones. I guess John Stones is he injured?
Yeah, I get he has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, because like there's no way like the brother. I mean, like even yeah, he's usually called up, so he must be injured. Trippier on the bench. I mean, like again, like I don't have like too much of a problem with that. I mean, Kyle Walker again did score, but Eze not like you have an option of Eze to play as your 8 and you don't put him. I mean, that's if you're talking about like a replacement for Jordan Henderson, if you were really what's it called, like adamant on putting Madison on the left, you could put Eze instead of Henderson.
Yeah, like it's,
right.
I don't know.
You could have put Sterling as a left winger. Marcus Rashford. You could have probably put Phil Foden as a left winger.
I don't.
Anyway, bro, it's England. England's a mess. I feel like if you take every squad for what they are, okay, on paper, you personally arrange the best players who can play their roles the best, okay. On paper, England should win the Euro, right? But they won't, and there's nothing that will convince me that they will, right? You draw to Ukraine. With all due respect, Ukraine is like has Mudryk on it, so like. You
Yeah,
know,
that's our
you know,
that's their
you
best player. Well,
yeah,
actually, no, their best player is probably Zinchenko. But
yeah.
you know.
Hey, what your boy scored, eh?
Yeah, yeah, just another day at the
Just
office
just
for me.
just another Arsenal legend.
Listen, I'll tell you this, man. England is like it's like beating a dead horse, man. Like everything that's been said has been said about them for the last
Hmm.
5 years, man. With Southgate, I'm done with this shit. Like, just get England to the Euros, let them collapse tremendously, and let Southgate get fired in disgrace because like I can't stand Southgate. I fucking hate Southgate. Like
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
Do you think England's ever gonna get over their obsession for English managers?
No, because I don't think the FA actually give a shit about winning. I think they just give a shit about like looking good. Keep in mind, man, this is like the mighty England, home of the best league in the world. Football's coming home, all of this. They're out here basically glorifying making semifinals and quarterfinals. Talk about, oh, he's united the nation and we've made progress. Progress for what? You, you, you know, I mean, you, listen, man. Like, where's the progress? Like, okay, you know what? I'll give it to them. Okay, okay. Them making the semifinals in 2018, despite it being like a very like they made the semifinals by beating trash teams. Like with all due respect. Okay, fine, fine. You could sell me on the progress because it was his first tournament. And then fine, they made the final of the Euros. They lost. That's where it's done. Okay, he made the finals. Where else could he take him? He took him to a final. They lost.
Yeah.
And then quarterfinals. Oh yeah, and even let's not forget the Nations League, where like I think they finished like I think they lost all their games in the Nations League.
Yeah.
I remember
No.
they got
Exactly.
spanked 4-0 by Hungary at home. No, it's like they fucking stink, man. They fucking stink.
Yeah. But moving on to another pair of teams that have been really sucking, and another couple of giants. We got Germany and Italy. Those brothers
Yeah, I
have
wanna
been looking some next level
I
kind of
want I
stuff.
want to get on that. Another team in shambles. Germany fired Flick. They just fired him.
Yeah, they just fired him. Was it today or last night? I don't
Oh,
recall.
yeah, about an hour ago.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, man. Is like, yeah, it is justified. Cause I saw yesterday they lost 4-1 to Japan. In case like the viewers were not aware. They lost 4-1 to Japan, and then he's only won 12 out of his first 25 games in charge.
Fuck. And
Germany.
was that like Germany just being bad or Japan being insanely good?
Well, it's like, well, okay, well, the scoreline is a bit like deceiving. It was 2-1 until the 90th minute when
Yeah.
Germany were trying to win, and then Japan ended up scoring 2 goals in the counterattack.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like it is a bit of a deceiving scoreline. I get it, but still, like Germany, man, like their last 5 results, like I checked it, it was they lost to Belgium, they lost to Japan, they lost to. Let me check. Hold on. Let me.
They drew with Spain
Let me
at the Worlds.
I need to
So they've
listen. Their last
seems like they've won a lot of their games.
their last 5 results. I need to check this because, like I told you, it was something like it was disgusting. I think they lost 4 out of the last 5, is what I saw. Like that. That's what I'm trying to check because
Okay, that was a long time ago.
yeah, he got fired. I mean, man, I don't know. We all. I remember when he was Bayern coach, and then he ended up winning the treble with them. I remember all of Europe. I mean, I wanted him at Barca.
Well, the only team they beat at the World Cup was Costa Rica,
Hmm.
right? And then if you go back to just this European qualification, let me see. Let's see. Can I? Is this it? No, I guess not. Okay. Anyway, I can't find it right now. But basically, Germany's in shambles, and they're another team that you could say on paper is still really solid. I mean, but
Even I don't know about all that.
bro,
Like I
not to the level like, bro. Like, listen, is it up there with the team like that obviously won the 2014 World Cup? No, it's not even close, right? But it's still a team that's solid on paper and like
Look, it is, but I personally like I told you, man, it's like the same issues that happen because I'm gonna give you like a nice little correlation,
yeah,
because I know you like me and my brilliant mind.
of course,
Notice 2 things. Notice how Germany and Italy stopped being footballing like I mean, they're obviously still like superpowers, obviously like they're royalty, but notice how they've been basically shit the last 10 years, and it coincided with the fact that their leagues became one-man leagues. For
mm-hmm.
example, right? Most of Germany's players play in Germany, right?
Correct,
and that league is dominated by Bayern. And in 2014, like when they were doing like, because I remember from 2008 to 2016, so that encompasses 2 Euros. No, that's 3 Euros. So 2016, 2012, 2008, and then 2 World Cups. Those 5 tournaments, Germany never made it, but like never made it worse than the semifinals, because they lost the final in 2008. They lost in the semifinal in 2010. They lost in the semifinal in 2012. They won the World Cup in 2014, and they lost the semi-final in 2016. Right, that coincided with the fact that the Bundesliga back then was more competitive. Dortmund were still winning it back then. Like they had won it 2 years in a row. You had Bayern there, obviously. Like it was more competitive. Same
Correct.
thing with Italy.
Yeah.
Italy became a the Juventus league for like 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and that coincided with them pretty much sucking. Like okay, because people forget that Euros what's the name? That Euro win that they had in 2021 like papered the cracks. Because like I told you, that team to me was not even like that great. Like I'm not, they didn't get lucky. Like they didn't deserve to win it, but they weren't like that great because the semifinals against Spain. I will always say this: Spain should have. If we had a clinical striker, we would have spanked them like 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up losing to them in penalties, and then they won in penalties against England to win the Euros. Okay, but pretty much look at since they've won the World Cup 2006, what they've accomplished. 2008 in the Euros, I think they lost in the quarterfinals. 2010 World Cup didn't even make it out of their group, and that group was fucking terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah.
Let's do some names. They had New Zealand and Slovakia in that group. I forgot the third team, but like that's already,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't make it out of the group. 2012 they lost the finals in the Euros. Fine, cool. They made the finals. 2014 they don't make it out of the group in the World Cup. 2016 they lose in the quarterfinals in the Euros. 2018 they don't even make the World
They
Cup.
don't make it. Yeah.
2022 World Cup, they don't make it, and then 2021 Euros, fine, they won it, albeit I don't think they were actually, like, no one was actually convinced Italy was the best team in Europe after that Euros. Like, they won it, but people still were saying, like, France and, like, these type of teams above it. So, that's the thing. So it coincided with the fact that it became too dominated, and that's the issue. I'm pretty sure that's like a decent reason why, like I see a little parallel I made. That's why I think both of these countries have not been great for the last like 10 years.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. It's very much like maybe once we start to see like like even like what's his name? Um, what's that brother's name in the MLS?
Who Insigne?
Yeah, Insigne going to the MLS at like basically while he's still like in his
31.
prime.
31, 32. Yeah, like
and just like Italians not branching out of their own league and like
he went.
yeah, right. And so like it's a kind of like a bit of a dark time for Italian and German football in general. A time that will definitely, I don't think it will last, but as long as these leagues continue to be as
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I think both their footballing and like governing bodies need to do something. 'Cause, like in Germany, I mean, they're not called the FA, but whatever it's called in Germany, like that manages like the football in that country, need to like do something because if Bayern are able to just maintain dominance like this in the Bundesliga, it's just gonna be boring because pretty much all the great talent go to Bayern. Well, at Bayern, a lot of them maybe don't get game time because it's so like whatever. And then the talents that are in the Bundesliga, they play for like smaller teams, so maybe they don't get recognized for the international games. Like I don't know, but there's a systemic like issue with football in Germany because like if I'm looking at this team right now, like I'm gonna list you this fucking German team. Oh, also the fact that I will say this: I don't watch a lot of German football. Obviously, I didn't watch a lot of Germany under Flick. I will say this though, their build-up play was hella slow, and personally, I don't get like he was starting Kai Havertz as a striker.
Yeah, I don't get the what bro. Does Kai Havertz have like blackmail over these managers? Like what's going on? Like does Kai Havertz have like pictures of like Arteta's wife or something?
To be fair, Kai Havertz at Leverkusen, and I know it's like dumb to say because that was like 4 years ago, but Kai Havertz at Leverkusen was generational.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Like I feel like managers are still clinging on to the fact that he's still like I think 24, 25. They're still clinging on to the fact that like maybe he can get that form back, which like maybe, but like at a certain point, man. Anyways, look at the starting lineup, right? Okay, Havertz as a striker, that's dumb. Gnabry and Sané as your wingers, that's good. Okay, cool. Then you have Gundogan with, as a midfield pivot with Emre Can. Emre Can is like, yeah, it's decent, They have Florian Wirtz as their number 10, he's very good. He's still very young, though, and he's been heavily linked to Barca.
Mm-hmm.
Rudiger as your center back. That's cool. Okay, fine. Then you have Nicholas Sule as your center back. Sule is this guy has a permanent membership to like Popeyes. Like he's fat as shit. He's slow. He's literally the German Maguire. He's the German Maguire. He's fucking fat. He's slow. He can't run. He can't do shit. You have Kimmich as your right back, which like why would you do that? Like you understand like this German team. Literally, if you just put Kimmich, Gundogan as your pivots, okay, Wirtz as your number 10, fine. Gnabry, Sane as your wingers, and then your number 10, bro, put Werner. Put Werner, deadass. Put Werner. I don't get why Havertz is there. And then you have Ter Stegen as your goalie, which he's been great for the last year and a half. And then I don't know who, Schno-
Schlotterbeck.
Schlotterbeck.
Schlotterbeck, yeah.
Like that team is like, and then if I look at the bench, like okay, Muller, cool, but he's getting old. Malik Thia, Jonathan Thaw, like I don't Julian Brown, like I don't like these are not
Yeah, these are not like
these don't pop out to you.
these are
Like
not like
there's
the Schweinsteigers or the Kloses or the Ozils of the.
yeah, well if you look at the German team that was so successful for a long time, like okay, look at this. So their starting lineup from what I can remember for the most part was okay. You had Schweinsteiger as your midfielder. You had Lam right back. You had Ozil. You had Klose. You had what's the name Hummels. Whatever. These are all players that, for example, okay, Ozil was at Madrid for the longer for a while. Then he went to the Premier League, so he already had branched out like other leagues, right? That's a thing I feel like in German football is lacking right now is that not enough of their top talents are branching out.
Yeah.
Because like okay, Kai Havertz for example was a top talent of theirs that branched out to the Premier League, but he didn't pan out. But like for
Yeah, but
example,
like Musiala, for example, like he could make a move to like the Premier League, for example.
a lot of their players right now are just based like they're just playing in Germany, and
Hmm.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like people could say like okay, but like for England, like all their players play in the Premier League. Yeah, but the Premier League is competitive at least. Like it's the
Yeah.
most competitive league in the world, and for the moment, you
Yeah.
know.
100%. No, no, no. There's definitely no. It's not comparable in terms of
Because
like the quality of play.
because the quality sucks, and then like even because okay, I'll give you another example. I'm chock full of examples today. When Spain were basically dominating international football, yeah, the core of their team was all based in La Liga. They were, but the thing is, there were Barca and Madrid players, and Barca and Madrid were basically the two best teams in the world back then.
Yeah.
Like Barca were always winning Champions Leagues, are always in the finals. Madrid was always there and about whatever, whatever. That's the thing. Like the issue isn't only the fact that all their players like are let's say are stuck in one league. It's the fact that just the league
Hmm.
sucks because the best German team obviously is Bayern, but Bayern in the Champions League right now would they really like I don't see them really doing much. Like they can maybe make a quarter or semifinal. I
Yeah.
don't see them winning it
Nope.
to be honest. Like in England, all their players are concentrated in England, but in England you could see like well Man City obviously just won the Champions League, so they could obviously win that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I know obviously they haven't been there in 7 years. I'm not saying Arsenal could win the Champions League, but Arsenal could like make some noise in the Champions League at least.
Hmm.
You still have your United. You still have your like, like there's that. Like I don't know, man. And then
I
the
mean,
state
bro,
of
listen. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
just said that German and Italian football just sucks, man. Like the state
Yeah.
of it sucks.
I mean, bro, to be honest, since we're already on the topic of Spain, might as well talk about it a little bit. So, what's it called? So Spain spanks the living hell out of Georgia on was it
Yes.
Friday or I think it was
Yeah,
Friday.
it was the 8th, which was Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a side that's starting to I feel become extremely threatening. Like when you talk about the world stage and like the Euros, for example, because
Mm.
like okay, mind you, it's Georgia. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah, they fooled me before, man. They beat Costa Rica 7-0 in the first game of the World Cup.
No, no, I get that part, but
Like,
but
you know.
you could just see what the Spanish are building. Like even just bro, um, with Yamal, right? Like he's he's just I don't know. Like I feel like he's the kind of brother that I feel could really be very generational as a player. I mean, he scores his goal against Georgia. He comes on, makes instant impact, even though obviously they were already winning. Like it's not like he changed the scope of the game, right? But he comes on, he has like no fear. The brother's like, I'm playing for Spain. I don't care. I'm 16. Well, what were we doing at 16? Scratching your ass and
Uh, Jacking off.
sending girls love letters in the mail. You know what I'm saying? And this brother's out here
Look,
scoring goals for Spain. I mean, like, nah, bro. I
I'm
think a
gonna
new
give you.
generation is coming up.
Look, I'm gonna give you my reasons why I don't think Spain. Okay, you know what? The Euros maybe, but I don't see Spain winning the World Cup anytime soon. Like I'll tell you this. Okay, my hope for Spain, honestly, as I remember, I mean, we weren't podcasting back then, but I remember I did talk to you about it. I'm pretty sure before the World Cup, I told you I could see Spain winning it because Spain back then, like I had more hope in them. Reason why is because first of all, like okay, you don't downgrade coaches because you go from Luis Enrique to fucking De La Fuente. De La Fuente is not like really that good. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
he's really not. Okay, so you downgraded coaches. Your starting 11 really hasn't changed that much. On top of the fact that the Spanish FA right now, like the players are at war against like their FA over like the FA is like being mismatched because first of all, Spain's league, La Liga, is being insanely mismanaged,
yeah.
right? And Spanish players, just like German and Italians, they don't really branch
They
out that
don't
much
match
out.
out. Yeah.
Spanish players, a lot of them they stay in Spain.
Hmm.
La Liga. The league quality is suffering right now because like our starting 11, like okay, if you look at it, like if I give you my ideal starting 11 for Spain, it would be this, right? You would have Morata as striker because he's like probably our best striker because Spain aren't really known for producing top class strikers. We produce very good midfielders.
Yeah.
We don't really produce strikers.
Yeah.
Morata's our best striker, which like cool. Morata for Spain, to be fair, does very well. Like I'm not really that mad that he's a striker, right?
Hmm.
You'd have probably Asensio as our right winger. I mean, I would put Lamal, but like he's still young. I don't really know if I want to trust him with the starting role for that.
Yeah.
Asensio, and then who's your left wingers? Probably like Danny Olmo, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you'd say that, and your midfield would be Rodri, Pedri, and like Gavi. I'd say
Sure.
probably. And your defense is, I mean, yeah, Balde would be your left back. Your right back is probably like who the fuck would even be the
Carvajal.
right back? Who? Carvajal?
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, but like, I'm trying to think of someone else because Carvajal's old.
Yeah.
Laporta, who just went to Saudi Arabia, and then Robin Lenormand, which like that team is not really like meh. And you can also put like okay, you can put Iñaki Williams maybe as a forward. You can put maybe Nico Williams' brother as like a winger. Okay, like that can interchange. But points. That team is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not wow. Like the only I can name you basically two world class players on that team. Rodri, Pedri. Like that's it. Like for you to actually be winning tournaments, you need to have at least I'd say half your team has to be comprised of probably world class or
I
borderline
don't
world
know if
class.
I agree with that.
No, because if you look okay, for example, if you look at England, right? Give England a good coach, then trust me, they do win like a World Cup or a Euros. They have the team for it. And then look at their team. You have Harry Kane, who's well, we can all agree is world class. You have you can put Saka or Rashford or Sterling or Grealish or any of those guys on your wings. Saka to me is world class. I think Saka's world class. I think Rashford when he's on it can be world class, but he's not consistently world class. Matter
Hmm.
of fact, Saka isn't consistently world class either, so fine. Sterling, I would put him as world class. Like, I know he had a bad season last year, but I think over his career he's proved that he's probably consistently world class. So I would
Yeah.
put Sterling there. And then you have your midfield. It's all like bordering world class, not world class. Like I would probably say Jude Bellingham is probably
Yeah.
matching.
Like he's proving. Yeah. He's slowly
Like
proving it.
he's soon, like he's playing as a world class player. Like maybe he's too young to put it on him, I guess, but
Mm.
he's playing like
But
one.
100%. No, no, 100%. I agree with you. Like,
Declan Rice as well. You have what's his name? You'd have him. You'd have who else could be in midfield? James Ward-Prowse isn't world class, but you could put him as like he's decent.
James Madison.
He's a pretty yeah. James Madison, Premier League proven. Eze. These are all like not world class, but they're proven and good talent. So you put them. Then you have a world class center back and John Stones.
Yeah.
You have well, Kyle Walker is. Would you say Kyle Walker is world class? Like if he's not world class, he's bordering on world class.
Currently or just like.
Like throughout his career, I'd say
Yes,
Kyle
yes.
Walker
Oh, 100%, bro.
probably.
100%. Like, can you name a better right back in the Premier League than Kyle Walker?
Like you put yeah. I mean,
Historically.
I still think Ben White's the best right back in the Premier League.
No, no, historically.
Historically, I mean the last 10 years, no.
Right.
But like
Exactly.
I
So
don't know,
but there's
that
definitely world
England
class.
team has a lot of talent. That's the thing. You can't really
Yeah.
win shit by having like up and coming decent talent at like some local Spanish team, for example, like in the case with Spain.
Yeah.
No,
So you think they're too young, or you think that it's just unless
I think it's a lack of world class players for Spain.
mm,
I think that's what it is, and that's the same way with Germany. That's the same way with Italy. There needs to like those three countries need to have a revamp of
yeah, their
their
leagues.
their leagues. Like there
Yeah.
needs to be because Germany, for example, in I think it was 2000 or 2001, they lost 5-1 to England in a friendly, and to them, that was like, okay, that's exorbitant because the last like few years they had been underperforming. Basically, it was kind of the same situation now where like they were good,
Hmm.
and they started underperforming for a couple of years. Then that result basically was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Then they
Hmm.
reset the whole like footballing culture, the way academy should work, the way teams should operate. Whatever. They reset everything in German football, which then ended up leading to what we saw, which was consistent semifinal appearances and a World Cup victory.
100%. And I think what you were saying about like players branching out. I mean, I think a really good example because if we like wanted to transition, is like with France, for example, because you could say like France. Listen, is a team that is definitely poised to win the Euro if everything kind of comes together for those brothers. But I mean, take it. You got Giroud up front. That brother's in Italy. Mbappe, he's playing in France. Griezmann, La Liga. Dembele, he's in France. Rabiot, I'm pretty sure is in France, right?
No, Rabiot's still with Juventus, I
Oh,
believe.
Juve.
Yeah, no, but the thing, but the thing with France is that okay, unlike other teams, France just produce monsters all the time.
Yeah, facts.
Like think of it, and plus a lot of their players are branched out because okay, Dembele just went to PSG, fine, but he was at Barca.
Yeah.
Griezmann La Liga. You have
Chouamani's in La Liga.
Cavani's in the Camavinga's in the Liga. You have William Saliba who's at Arsenal. You have
You have
what's his name?
Teo Hernandez, who's in what's it called, Italy.
He's at AC Milan. You have Lucas Hernandez who just joined PSG, but he was at Bayern. You have
You have Konate, who's in England.
Konate who's at Liverpool. You had Lloris for the longest time as a starting goalie was at
Yeah,
England with Spurs.
yeah.
You have what's his name Mandanda's where he's in France. Okay, cool. But then you have Magnan.
Magnan. Yeah, facts.
He's with
No,
AC
exactly.
Milan.
But you can see how like these brothers
Yeah,
are like
they're
have
branched
branched
out. They
out
have
to
monsters. Yeah.
100%,
And then
right?
Mbappe's in France, cool, but like Mbappe is could be an all-time player, so like you can't really put like those
100%.
you can't put those standards.
That brother, he plays for every single team. He starts for every single
Yeah,
team around the
he
world.
starts and plays for every single team in the world.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%. So, well, which is I think goes back to what you were saying, how like this is a great example of a team with players that have enough quality and have enough desire to go and say, hey, well, you know what, the French league isn't really all that. Let's go and play in England. Let's go and play in Spain. Let's go and play in Germany, so on and so forth. So they've definitely done a good job. I mean, their Euro qualification game against Ireland ended 2-0 for them,
mm,
which is like for me expected. Not like no
yeah,
disrespect to Ireland.
that's definitely
Um,
expect.
but yeah, I don't know. That I think if you're talking about who I might predict to win the Euros, I think France is definitely my number one choice. Which is
Yeah,
I think a
yeah,
bit of
yeah.
a bit of a cop out answer, but like I think that
That's
definitely they're my number one choice, and
uh,
then perhaps yeah, sorry.
yeah, France and England. I'm just gonna say France and England are my two favorite. I think as favorites, it's only those two countries. Every
Okay.
other country could win it, but favorites, I think, is just France and England.
Okay, so I'm a Portugal fan, so I love Portugal. Do I think they're gonna win it this year? No. But if I'm gonna pick two teams and I'm gonna stick with my guns, I'll say France number one, Spain two, Portugal three. That's 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 my top three. I still think that Spain will do a very decent job in the Euro 2024. And will they win it? I don't know, but I think that they will definitely.
Look, all I'll say is this. I think my prediction. Okay, I think it's like okay. Despite them having Southgate and despite me talking shit about him, based on pure quality alone, I don't get how you can't have England in your top three. Personally,
Yeah,
I would.
I get that. It's just that like maybe and the thing is like you never know. Maybe in these Euro qualifications, like Southgate just like experimenting and seeing and all this shit. Like maybe you can give that to him, and like maybe when it comes to the world with the Euro, he
Yeah,
might.
but
But at the same time, like
yeah, it's been
you
5 years.
really you don't want
He's
to
not.
waste these games.
I don't know. For me, listen. If I'm giving you my prediction for the Euros, I think France won. I think England too, just based on quality alone. I'd probably say Look, it depends, man. Because okay, Portugal, I'll say are three because they have a new coach, yes, but they need to stop playing Ronaldo like consistently.
I
I'm not
think
saying they
yeah,
shouldn't.
they're gonna. But take in right. So if we can transition to Portugal now, so they beat Slovakia 1-0. Okay, to be honest, like it wasn't a very convincing game, in my opinion, right? But Bruno gets his goal. I mean, like it is what it is, and Ronaldo gets a yellow card. That means he's out for the next game against Luxembourg, which is his favorite team.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's it. He likes the stat pad against those
Yeah.
teams.
But what that means is the main thing is that the new striker will come in. Most likely, it's going to be Gonçalo Ramos,
Yeah,
um, which is good for him because to be honest, like this is the chance that he needs to say, okay, can I make an impact on the team? Obviously, it's going to be against a team like Luxembourg. With all due respect, I mean, like they're not like wow, right? But at least he'll be able to say, hey, this is what I can do. Now, does that mean that Martinez will start Ramos over Ronaldo? No, I don't think so. Unless like Ronaldo like pulls a major stinker in the first game of the Euros, I don't foresee that happening.
uh,
Um, but
I don't know, man. He might get mad and drop a sex tape next. You've seen the video, obviously.
yeah,
Of the, I'm not gonna say, but
yeah.
anyways. Yeah. Anyways, so
But anyway, that's Portugal. I mean, like those brothers are comfortably winning their games
that
not
Portuguese
comfortably
team
winning,
is
but like I mean, I guess
good.
they're still like top of their group.
Bro.
They're not
That
really in
Portu-
question for qualifying, but yeah, that's that. I mean, I think in terms of Euros, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Like,
that Portuguese team is good, man. Like Portugal to me had the same issue as not Germany as England in like the last few tournaments, where they basically had the Portuguese Southgate as their coach. Like they had a coach who was like they had the talent there, but their coach fucking stunk.
yeah,
Oh, like that. Like that's just my
but like
opinion.
their team on papers is actually pretty crazy. Like, okay, you got Ronaldo up front, you got Leao on the left, you got Bernardo Silva on the right, Bruno Fernandez as your 10, solid.
Yeah,
Polina as your 6,
yeah.
Vitinha as your, I guess, your 8. Cancelo,
Paulinho,
yeah.
uh,
Cancelo left back, Diaz center back, Silva center back, and Dallo right back. And then Costa, I
oh,
mean, yeah, like, I mean, I guess their
no,
goalie is not,
that team is great.
yeah.
That team, like you could easily have a front line of Ramos, Leao, and maybe what's his name? Would you put? Would I put Pedro Neto? Yeah, maybe Pedro Neto. Boys, their front line is very
Oh,
good.
and
Their
then they
midfield,
thinking like who they have on their bench too, right? They got Gonçalo Ramos, they have
Bernardo,
João Felix,
they have Bruno in their
they have
midfield.
Jota on their bench. You know what I'm saying?
That team is good. Like I told you, based on quality alone, they should be doing some.
Yeah. No. It's a solid team. If they can put it together, they can definitely make a solid run throughout the Euros of 2020. That's gonna honestly, I'm gonna look. I'm definitely looking forward. And if you guys want to tune into everything related to Euros next year, obviously you guys know where to look. Basement Ballers podcast. But without further ado, let's talk a little bit about what was going on with South America. Because there was two games that I watched personally that I thought was interesting. Obviously, first one was Argentina versus Ecuador. It's interesting because Messi's playing. Okay, that's about as simple as that, right? If Messi's playing, I usually watch it. Just want to see what the brother did, and the brother scored a free kick, nice free kick over the wall.
He's nice.
Curled it down. It's messy, but it was hilarious to see like some of the memes after because obviously Ecuador, Caicedo, and then you got Argentina with Enzo, and then all the Chelsea fans talking about, oh look at our like star boy, look at our midfielders, look at, and then yeah,
I don't. Listen, man. The South American World Cup qualifying starts in the next 2 days, I believe, because Argentina have to play. I think. Let me check who they have to play. Argentina play Bolivia in 2 days, and that's gonna be tough. Then you have Brazil, Peru, Chile, Colombia. That's gonna be good. Honest, you do have some challenging games for Argentina coming up because Bolivia is a very hard team to play historically. They're I
yeah.
don't know. You have to see. I mean, international football to me, man. Like unless it's the World
Unless
Cup
it's
or
like a yeah, like an actual tournament, it doesn't
football.
like it's nice to see like a lot of these big names like come together and stuff and like cool, but like after about a week of it, I'm like, man, like I'm missing Premier League. I'm
Sure,
missing La
right?
Liga. Yeah.
All I'll say is, before we stop talking about the international shit, shout out Neymar. He broke. He's now Brazil's all-time leading goal scorer.
Shout out to that brother. He had an amazing game. I don't know if you watched that game, but I watched it with the homies, and he started off shaky. He misses the penalty, which is like very uncharacteristic of Neymar. And to be honest, when I saw that, I was like, damn, like this El Hilal move is really like
Yeah,
I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But he came back and like with the vengeance kind of thing. He just like he had this amazing run that he almost scored. It just last second goalie stops it. Good fair play to the goalie, but overall very solid performance from him. He bags 2 goals. Rafinha, your boy, bags a goal, and Rodrigo bags 2 as well. And despite the Neymar beating Pele's record, which is like okay, like obviously very amazing achievement and everything, and he deserves it. I mean, he's done, other than actually win anything with Brazil. I mean, he's been there for them, and he's provided goal scoring opportunities and goals and everything. So shout out to that brother. But let's talk about Richarlison because that brother, a poor guy, um, absolutely like just like basically flakes on every major opportunity, gets sent off, and the poor guy starts crying. And the only thing the internet can do is just troll and make fun of him. And I kind of felt bad,
He
I don't
makes
know.
himself trollable, man. What can I say? He has a fucking bird dance for crying out loud.
I
He's also
know,
still.
yeah.
He's not good, man. Look, I talked about this last week. I don't want to keep talking about it. Richarlison sucks. I'm glad he's failing. He fucking stinks. I hope he gets banished to like the Brazilian fourth tier. He's not good. Pretty much all I have to say.
Nah, bro, no, no, no. I'm a Richarlison stan. I will be honest. I'm rooting for that brother, even though he's on Spurs, and like I'm not a Spurs fan. I'm rooting for that brother. I hope he scores next game.
You're a weird individual. Anyways, before we wrap up,
Well, I
I
did
just
want
want
to talk about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say because I want to because there are some pretty decent Premier League fixtures coming up, so I want to talk about those and make like some predictions.
Is that next weekend?
Yes, that would be next.
So Friday, starting Friday, or no, starting
Uh,
Saturday. It
I don't
appears it's
know.
starting Saturday.
What did you want
Okay.
to do before we do that though?
What's up, bud?
You were gonna say something before
I
we
mean,
do
we're
that.
on Premier League, so we can talk about the Premier League, and then I just want to touch up on Anthony real quick. Like, not really touch up on him, but I'm like touch up, like talk about it. Like, I don't want to touch him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think you
Like,
will.
yeah, but like I
Let's
wanna,
see. You have Wolves play Liverpool at 7:30. Are you gonna get up for that?
bro. I have to, bro. I'm dedicated to the basement baller cause. I got to
Let's.
report.
I think we can easily assume Liverpool win that game. West Ham and Man City. That's gonna be that's
That's a
at
good
West
game.
Ham.
That's a good game,
Now
bro. To be honest,
it's gonna be at West Ham too.
yeah.
So
I think City still wins, but I
yeah,
don't
but
I don't think West Ham wins. I think either they draw or City beats them.
they do have somewhat of an injury crisis right now, Man City, because Man City right now have John Stones, Grealish, Ake, and De Bruyne out.
Yeah, but those brothers are deep, bro. Like
Like
pause.
they're very deep. Pause. Like their team is deep, so like, so they can cover for it, I guess. But still, so you have that. Spurs play Sheffield. I mean, that's gonna be an easy Spurs win. United play Brighton now.
That's a solid game. At
I
10.
honestly see Brighton beating United. I can't lie because Brighton have started the season off better than United. They're
100%.
playing better.
And United are plagued with injuries. And yeah.
Plus, United last year lost their opening game to Brighton at home. They lost 2-1 to Brighton at home in their opening game last year.
Mm.
I mean, like honestly, I could see United losing, like dropping points, if not losing that game. So I'm gonna make a prediction. I'll make
Yeah,
a bold. I'll say
but thing is
Brighton wins.
taken, that's that one. Um yeah, that one plus City West Ham are probably the best fixtures of the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Man United, Brighton, City, West Ham. Those are gonna be good. I mean, Fulham and Luton after. That's gonna be like. I mean, Fulham probably win. That's like a game. Villa and Crystal Palace is decent, but I think Villa probably. It's gonna be at Villa, so I think Villa probably win that.
Mhm.
I think they win it, but like a 2-1 or a 1-0. I don't think it's gonna be like a spanking. And then
Yeah.
Newcastle Brentford is gonna be a good game. Actually, that's also a decent
Oh,
game.
that's actually a good game. That could be like the Newcastle's
I
like
also think Newcastle win, but I don't think they win like convincing. Like I
I
think
don't
they
know,
win.
bro. Newcastle's been looking kind of shaky.
Yeah, but bro, we said this last week. Keep in mind the teams they've played. In the
Yeah.
first 4 games they've played, they played Man City, Liverpool, Villa. Who else? So
That's it.
for
And
Brentford,
no, and what's it called? Britain.
right? Exactly. Yeah. Like they played pretty much every team they played against have been top eight.
True.
Fulham,
No, no.
Brighton.
I listen. I agree that it wasn't an easy
They
set
didn't
of
get
fixtures,
spanked in any
but
game.
like taking how like it could affect your morale and your like like your momentum and everything, and like against a team like Brentford who like are like doing well leading up to the break, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, look, I could see Newcastle. They could lose that game, but like I think they probably will win because it's gonna be at Newcastle as well.
yeah,
Then
yeah. I mean
then you
those
have
brothers, yeah.
Chelsea Bournemouth the next day if you go to Sunday. Like I told you last week, Bournemouth is Chelsea's bogey team.
Hmm.
Like even when Chelsea were good, they were always like it was always difficult for them to go to Bournemouth. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. At this point, I don't know what to predict with Chelsea. So I'm just gonna I don't know. I'm gonna leave that to the side. I don't fucking know what to
I
predict.
I I 100% agree with you in terms of like that's a hard one to predict because you never
It's
know when it
tough.
comes to that game. But let's because we're already streaming and everything, let's use this opportunity to pick one game that we will do TikTok live for. What do you think? I'm thinking it's Man United Brighton.
We could do Man United Brighton on TikTok Live. Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
There's that. There's also, I mean, I don't know. We could do that. I mean, Everton Arsenal the day after is a decent game we could do one because even though Everton suck, Arsenal don't travel well to Everton. Like we don't like when we go to Everton. Like last year we lost to Everton, and the year before we lost to Everton at Everton. So
Hmm.
like I
Yeah,
don't
bro. I
know.
mean, listen.
That would be a game I'd want to do a live for as well. Low key.
Fox, bro, Fox. I mean, listen. It's not like we could do for both. Like, I mean, like now that we have access to TikTok Live, shout out to you guys for helping us out with that. We'll be able to do a lot more of that. Obviously, a 10 a.m. game is tough to like kind of get together for, but it's not impossible. So if we really wanted to, and if the fans wanted to, and you guys let us know if that's something of interest to you guys, you definitely let us know, and we'll go live together in the same room, watch the game, react, eat some popcorn, have some snacks, shake our booties,
Yeah.
and have a nice time.
Yes.
Um, but to anyway, so that's that. Hopefully that's next weekend. There's still a couple more fixtures for the international break that we will maybe cover a little bit next week if there's something crazy that happens. So tune in for that. But without further ado, I did want to talk about one more thing. I did want to talk about the Anthony situation at United, but not just that situation in particular, but kind of like the implications it might have for United and their kind of placement. So I'll start off, and then I'll let you like then kind of like build off of what I'm gonna say.
Hmm.
So Anthony, first of all, that brother is obviously accused of some pretty heinous shit. So I don't want to make light of that situation because if the brother's guilty, then he absolutely deserves to be kicked out of the team, just like Greenwood. He
Of
absolutely
course.
deserves to be kicked out of the Brazilian national team. And
Of
because
course.
it's obviously unacceptable behavior, right? However,
As he should. Per.
right, the question is, and the question that's always debated by a lot of football fans, right, is so you already had the brother get suspended from the Brazilian national team, or I guess not called up because of the allegation, because there's a kind of like a investigation going on, right? Which obviously isn't a great feeling for him. I mean, he loves to play for Brazil and everything, but currently, I think Man United are a bit of a pickle to know whether or not they should suspend him as well as United, right? Now,
Yeah.
if United decide to suspend him, okay,
Yeah.
I would hope that means that United has a great deal of evidence, right, that could potentially incriminate him, right? Because to suspend him based on an accusation and an accusation alone, I feel it would be a bit harsh, right?
Yeah, but I don't know because this whole Anthony thing is not just recent. It's been going on since last year as well. But recently is when it's like picked up,
Hmm.
Steam. So I don't blame them for suspending him. All I know is that listen, it's been three women that came out to accuse him. So we're gonna have to see.
We're gonna have to see. Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation. Now, that being the case, United are even in more of a tough situation because not only are they in kind of borderline, like in terms of financial fair play, and their obviously transfer window is now closed.
Hmm.
Their options on that right side are becoming absolutely horrific. I mean, taking Sancho is now out of favor with the team. They might have to go back to that, brother, and try to
No,
mend fences.
they can go Palestri.
Yeah,
He's a youngster who hasn't really proven himself. But I mean, listen, a lot of people say he has promise, so
yeah.
give it
I'm
to him, I
not
guess.
super familiar with Hoyland's game. Is he only like a nine, or does he play
Oh,
wing?
he look. I only saw the bits and pieces I've seen. Like I've seen a few like of his highlights in games in Italy, and then plus his cameo against Arsenal. He looks like a Holland to me.
Oh,
He's
okay,
like
so it's
six
straight
three,
down the
six
middle. Yeah,
He's 6'3", 6'4". He's big. He's physical. Give him a chance, he could score. Relatively quick.
yeah. He's
Like
Danish, eh?
he's Danish. Like he
Yeah.
reminds me of like a Holland kind of.
Okay,
Hoyland.
Hoyland.
So,
Yeah. No.
no,
So definitely
we'll see.
trouble in many. Listen.
Like I
Um,
predicted, man. I'm a genius. I did say they weren't making top four.
I
Then
don't
people
even
were
know
like,
if they're gonna
oh,
make top six at this point, bro. Like,
no,
I don't know, bro. There's
no.
some
I
tough
think
teams.
they could probably still make top. They could finish sixth.
Yeah.
No, they'll finish. Man United. Okay, you know what? Man United are gonna finish sixth.
Okay.
That's what I'm calling.
So let's make that our question of the day for the homies right before we wrap up. It's almost 1 a.m. It's almost 1 p.m. We've been streaming for almost an hour now. So shout out to you guys for tuning in. But let's make this the question of the day. Given everything that has happened to United and all the misfortunes and everything related to their situation, where do you see United finishing now? Because I think before the season started, a lot of people had them in the top four. I very
I
rarely saw
mean,
people not have them top four.
I mean,
Yeah, you. Yeah, not you. Uh, but yeah, let us know what you guys think that about United and where you think that they will finish by the end of the season. We'll come back obviously at the end of the season and see how many of you guys were correct. Personally, I don't even think they're making top six. I'll be honest.
they're gonna make it sixth.
But maybe they could. I think that they'll make like just. I think that the situation is just shit, and like they'll probably at best end seventh. But let me know what you guys think. Follow us on all the things that are able to follow us on TikTok. It's in the description. Twitter. It's in the description. YouTube. Subscribe. Do we got yeah Instagram. Subscribe. Follow us on there. And before we end, I just want to give one final shout out to our new sponsor, Oceana, whose logo is somewhere in the corner over there. Yeah, right over there. So peep those guys out. If you're looking for footwear and you're looking for fashionable footwear, go to Oceana. If you're looking for fashionable accessories like watches, Oceana. If you're looking for nice bags, if you're a nice lady and you like a nice bag and you also like to watch football, Oceana. There's coupon codes in the description. Check them out. Thank you guys for sponsoring us. I know we're a new stream, and we appreciate the support so early on. And we'll continue to live stream. We'll continue to make content for you guys. We'll continue to make shorts. We'll continue to make TikToks for you guys to keep the content going. And hopefully you guys are enjoying them. So let us know if you guys are. Let us know what you think about the comment question of the day. And without further ado, see you later. See you next week.
Peace out, ladies.
Peace out, guys. Pew pew pew.